I'm here with Lisa and Brad Lanasa. They moved from the U.S. to Uruguay and then Argentina with their 15-month-old daughter and 2 dogs. They have a great website. It's youaremovingwhere.com. That's youaremovingwhere.com, and I'd urge you to go check it out. And they were gracious enough to allow me to spend a few minutes interviewing them and asking them some questions. And so I wanted to just get a sense from you all. How did you decide to make the move and why?
We were both self-employed at the time, and it was right in conjunction with the 2008 market crash. But we always knew that we wanted to live abroad, and that was kind of the push that we needed.
And we were kind of just ahead of it. We sort of saw the writing on the wall about a year out or something like that. We're like, and we were getting burned out, and then it coincidentally did work out well with the.
But we sold our house that we had for 7 years
prior to
the crash, and we joke saying that me becoming pregnant with our first was kind of the push to say, okay, we don't want to raise our kids in this right now. We want to do something else.
And we did all the standard stuff that you do, that you're raised to do, that you are.
The American dream.
The American dream. We got out of school, bought a house, got a dog, got another dog, got the 2 imported cars, got all the stuff to fill the house, did the whole thing that you do to make yourself happy. And then after 7 years of doing that,
no, this isn't happy for us.
Lisa was pregnant, and we were like, and we had already kind of been talking about it, and then we decided just to do it. So we found done thing. A lot of people would think it's backwards, but for us, it's been great, and it's been a great experience with obviously the kids to see this life abroad through the kids' eyes and watch them grow and develop in foreign countries.
Your experience is very similar to mine, and very experienced to a lot of other expats that I've met here in Panama and other places. It all seemed to happen right around the 2008 crisis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So give me a sense of what your typical day is like down in Argentina.
This is Franca, by the way. She was born in Argentina.
She's Argentine.
Oh, cool.
Our typical day, it's generally quite relaxed. We wake up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Our daughter goes to a private school here, and we live in a walkable neighborhood, so we walk our daughter to school every day. It's about 8 blocks from our house. Very often we, make some stops at stores, etc. But we do some shopping in our neighborhood. Brad doesn't usually start his workday until 11:30 or so.
11 or 12:30 depends. I still work with U.S. clients, so we can start late, and then we get works pretty well with the late dinner hour and things here too. So we can kind of chill, and if it's summer, we can go out and take a dip at the pool or something before getting going during the day.
And internet access and everything is fine, so you have no problem.
Yeah, we have internet's great. We have a 30 meg down connection, so we have a fast connection. It's been no problem. Use various VoIP services to stay connected.
But internet is crucial for both of our businesses.
Our overhead for living abroad is so much less than we used to have a private office, and everything is so much cheaper for us now. I mean, it's in the low hundreds of dollars. It's very, very inexpensive to do everything that I did in the States.
What do we say? It's about a quarter, maybe less than a quarter of our expenses that we had in the U.S.
So for folks that are self-employed or consultants or have their own businesses, it's these days.
That would be the internet support, and then there are so many costs associated with being self-employed in the States that's still difficult. Healthcare being certainly a big one. We'll see where that goes going forward, but a lot of those costs, for instance, our healthcare is combined $120 a month for full 100% coverage. Lisa has a pre-existing condition, and it covers all of her supply. Yeah, she has type 1 diabetes. It covers all of her supplies that would retail at $1,500, $2,000 a month. All that stuff 100% covered from day one with the policies that we have here, and we're paying like 100 some bucks for the whole family.
So that to me is really amazing. So one of the biggest concerns that we get lots of questions from folks that are considering moving abroad, and they're inevitably one of their biggest questions is, what do you do about healthcare? How is the healthcare down there?
It's amazing.
We found that in some cases the facilities might not be quite as pretty as what you might encounter in the U.S., but they still have all the same equipment. And actually, I think the attention that you get from the doctors is far superior.
Sure.
You're not rushed in and rushed out. If I have questions, if I have concerns, the doctor might spend a half an hour with me. Granted, I might wait longer to get in because the doctor's spending a half an hour with everybody.
Right.
But the level of care, I think, is incredible.
Yeah, it's and then the Gleaming Hospital. I just went. I'm contracted at the nicest hospital here in Cordoba. I just went and had a blood draw this morning. Costs again all included 100% with my coverage. Everything's digitized, everything's digital. It's very, very efficient, and we
have absolutely no complaints about healthcare.
It's the biggest.
It
would be the biggest impediment for us returning to the States is certainly is healthcare, because we were paying when we left. We'd be paying over $2,000 for the four of us. And I mean, our expenses are that, like everything. It might be that. For all, everything,
including living in housing.
So
we had our third child here in Panama as well, like you did in Argentina. And the one thing that just absolutely blew us away is when the doctor gave us his cell phone number and said, call me anytime on my cell phone if you have any questions. And
everybody's cell phone numbers. I've sent him texts. I mean, when Frank was born, I was sending texts to the doctor because that's a different story. Frank was born at home.
Accidentally.
Fantastic.
She was an accidental home birth, unassisted. So it was pretty crazy. But Brad was sending texts to the doctor as she was being born at home.
Yeah,
so,
and we had a doula lined up, and a midwife came, but
that's another story.
We only had 50 minutes to do it. Anyway, it was a beautiful experience. Not something you're going to have
but we had
every day.
We had the cell phone of the doctor, so we were able to get a hold of him directly. And
he walked you through it.
Yeah, well, sort of, yeah, and then through as far as the care leading up to that too, it was amazing. We had very regular visits. We had the 3D, 4D, ultrasounds, the whole like newest things.
I'd say the care here was far superior to the first being born in the U.S.
Yeah, the second birth was a lot better experience than the first, so way better.
So tell me what's the most challenging thing about living abroad and living in Argentina?
Sometimes I think having a North American perspective and just trying to get past that and let things go a little bit. We're anal North Americans, and that's how we grew up, and that's South America is different, and you just have to accept that and kind of roll with the punches. And things don't necessarily work on your clock. Sure. Or to your expectations, but I think that's part of the expat experience, just learning to be flexible and learning that things aren't always going to work the way you expect them to or want them to, but that's okay.
And that's for the kids, that's where I think our daughter's much more adaptable, much more flexible in situations. We've trucked her around all over the place the last several years, and she's very,
very comfortable in many different situations.
So we have these long, 30-year long ways of doing things. Granted, we traveled abroad, we studied abroad, did all that, but we're still ingrained have those tendencies that were just put into us as children and as adults that we're aware of them, but that's it's still a challenge sometimes when you're like control. You can't control every situation. So.
But the kids are learning Spanish. You all you're learning Spanish.
Our 5-year-old is completely fluent. We get complimented all the time from locals that she speaks just like a local. So that's pretty cool. And she's learned it in school.
Yeah.
We've had her in the preschool kind of. I hesitate to say daycare because it's not really a daycare system here, but it's a preschool system that starts from age 1, pretty much.
Sure.
And so she's been in that since she was a year and a half old. We started in Montevideo, and she's just learned through immersion.
That's
super easy. I mean, she's starting to become more and more our translator. If we want to know how to say something, we can ask her.
Your Spanish is
my Spanish is good. I mean, I can talk on the phone. I can do anything. Anything in context, I'm great. If somebody out of the blue asks me something without a context, I might be thrown off a bit. But yeah, otherwise,
you're great.
It's not a big deal, and then always have to fall back in a lot of situations that English will or at least Spanglish or Spanglish, whatever you prefer.
Or just pointing and gesturing.
Yeah, and that's what how Lisa lived when we first arrived. You know, that
in Montevideo, that's what I did.
So as a family who's living abroad, how would you compare your quality of life now versus when you lived up in the States? It sounds like it's not just marginally better. It's much better.
It's much better.
Quite a bit better.
It's tranquilo too.
We didn't really have that much of an opportunity to live as a family. I mean, our daughter was just over a year when we came down here, so it's not like we really experienced life with an older child in the U.S.
Sure.
So we have really no point of reference as far as schools in the U.S.
So I think probably a lot of our things that we've adapted to over the last several years has been more about raising a child rather than raising a child abroad. It's just like the challenges that go with raising a child alone are more difficult or are greater than being abroad necessarily.
But just the fact that we have a lot of family time together. Many times we eat every breakfast and every dinner and 3 lunches a week together. There are only a few days a week that our daughter's in school all day long, but otherwise we both work from home offices.
Sure. And
baby's here all the time, and we're always together. I mean, for good or for bad some days, but the amount of family time and the amount of activities that we can do together and with flexible work schedules, it's incredible.
And there are times which too, we don't need the extended family issues are probably some of the greater issues we have, particularly for the extended family where we get the guilt trips. We did have Lisa's mother-in-law down for a month. Our mother down for a month shortly after the baby was born, and we make our trips up. But that's probably the nuclear family. That's really we get all the time in the world. It's the extended family. If we were to have an issue, that would probably be the tougher part.
That's definitely a challenge.
And we would Skype, of course. We Skype every week with family all the time. It's not hard to stay in contact.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Share, give us a sense of what's your craziest expat experience living abroad?
What is the expat experience living abroad? It can be a lot of what you want it to be. I mean, there are certainly going to be challenges. It helps. What's that?
The craziest
expat experience. Oh, sorry. Sorry. That was this one. This was. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if it's an expat experience, but having her here.
Sure, that sounds like it.
was an experience, but it'd be one of the more amazing experiences we've had ever. And do you have anything else other than home birth? Unattended home birth, unassisted home birth.
I don't know. Nothing.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Hi.
So, do you guys any other advice for other families like yourself that are considering moving overseas?
Do your research, but also do it. Do your research, but don't do it to an end where you're just not making the move.
Right.
I think we mentioned it. It's not going to be what you expect it to be. It won't be. It's not going to. There are going to be things that are what maybe you think, but there are going to be a lot of things that are better or worse otherwise that you just Is any experience, is any life experience. You buy your first house, like, oh, that was different. I would have done that differently, or I would have thought this would have been different. Have your kids. Life isn't what you think it's going to be. You just got to do it and experience it, and you'll make make you want what you want of it.
It's funny. It seems really intimidating at first until you actually, and then you look back a year later and you say, "Geez, what was all the fuss about?"
Right.
Yeah, no,
right. And I think that a lot of people are so hung up by this idea in their heads that they can't do it, or that it's too big somehow to make a move internationally. And
simplifying is a big,
you definitely have to simplify your life and break it all down into steps, and then just start working on it.
Fantastic. Well, Lisa and Brad, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this with me this morning, and it sounds like you guys are having a fantastic experience down there. And again, the website is youaremovingwhere.com, and go check them out. It's a really interesting website.
Cool.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.